to start like this. So I'm Dave.
And I'm Sean.
And we have a special guest. Is he in? Are you in Brazil right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm in Rio De Janeiro right now.
Okay.
So we have a brand new RFL artist, Alex Meister from Rio de Janeiro. Doug Franklin calls him, and I said this in the beginning, he calls him the George Lynch of Brazil. Alex, welcome to the show, and very excited that we got something done to start get some singles out for you in the new year.
Yeah. Thank you for your invitation. It's a very honor to be here with you.
Thank you, sir. So let's get started. You've been working on some solo stuff. You have an album out. You're working on some more things. What? Obviously, everything was locked down there, like it was around the world. What were you doing before all that started in terms of recording and live playing?
I was doing before the COVID-19 problem. I was finishing the Marenna-Meister album, and so when the lockdown starts last year, I was starting to work on this album, the Out of Reach album, and I spent all the year of 2020 just working on this album. I didn't make any gig live for sure. Nobody did it in any place. So now in 2021, I started doing my new stuff solo, revisiting old stuff from my previous band, Pleasure Maker. So I've released three singles, and now I decided to make a full-length album of all this old stuff, revisiting this old stuff, and maybe making some new material also.
So Alex, are you doing the vocals as well, or just the guitar work?
Yes. All the vocals. I do all the vocals, the lead vocals, and all the chorus as well.
Okay.
And actually,
I was today doing just it. I was recording lead vocals and all the backing vocals for one more song.
So, and Alex he's a very accomplished singer, and I was actually, it was funny because when RFL started sending me your material when we were talking, I got the guitar talent right away, and then your vocals are, I mean, I hate to say it's strange to hear somebody that's that good of a guitar player be a strong singer, but you clearly worked at both.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your compliments. I don't think I'm a really great singer. I know what I can do with my vocal lines, and I think the most important thing that I can build really is the backing vocals, all this stuff. I've always been a Def Leppard fan, so I always loved all this kind of stuff, to mixing a lot of vocals in different intervals and make all these choruses. I love this stuff.
Well, that's a good question for you now, Alex. So who'd you say are some of your influences in? And I suppose now you've been, I don't even know how old you are exactly, but so would it be local Brazilian bands, or are you a big fan of UK bands, or what did you like growing up?
Only for guitar or everybody?
Everybody, sure.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of North American bands, such as Rat, Dokken, Def Leppard, and Canadian bands such as Triumph, Honeymoon Suite, and UK bands. A lot of UK bands. I love Def Leppard is a UK band. Whitesnake is a UK band. Bands from Scandinavia. I hear a lot of them, such as Street, Dalton, Page. From Germany, such as Bonfire and Frontline. A lot of stuff. If you look behind me, there's a lot of CDs from a lot of different places, from Europe and North America.
So, and in terms of, I guess your influences, because you're wearing a Judas Priest shirt there, and obviously I know you're,
Yes.
you know, you and I are kind of very similar in terms of our musical taste. But who would be some of your influences that you were learning from?
My influences on guitar it's been George Lynch, Red Beach, Warren DeMartini, Steve Vai, a lot of Matthias Yeb from Scorpions,
Yeah.
a lot of people, Kim Marcello, John Norton, let me think about Jake Lee,
Nice.
Randy Rhoads, Van Halen, a lot of people.
Wow.
So have an interesting Jakey Lee story for you. So we had Anthony Esposito on the show, and Anthony played in Lynch Mob, and he plays with Jake and Red. He plays in Red Dragon Cartel with Jake.
Yes, I saw them live in 2014 in Italy.
So Anthony, I asked him how long it took him to record the second Red Dragon Cartel album, and he said almost a year, because Jake brought in 35 or 40 different guitars and 10 or 12 different amps and Apollo pedals, and he said they'd go 2 days trying to get on a sound for one verse before Jake would land on something. So
Very crazy.
right. So
Very crazy.
he is, but Anthony said he was, you know, very brilliant, because it was like just he wanted a sound and he didn't stop till he got it.
Yes, I don't do the same as Jake do, because I use the same setup almost 20 years. I have a guitar rack system from Digitech, and I use this linked directly to my computer. And now I'm using impulse response output to develop the sound. But I use the same gear. The only one thing is very new to me is my signature guitar models. These two guitars, they're Meister models that I use since 2018. I started with this endorsements in 2017, and now I use on these guitars. All my old stuff I don't use so much anymore.
That sounds like a nice segue. Let's do this. Let's do our first break. And I'd like to hear more about this endorsement deal, because quite honestly, if it's a guitar that you believe in, then maybe some of our audience would like to hear more about that too. Is that okay if we take our first break?
Sorry. I didn't understand you. Please repeat.
I think what we'll do is we'll do our first break now.
Yes.
When we come back from the break, I'd like to hear a little bit more about the endorsement, so that some of our viewers might be able to get an opportunity to hear more about this guitar.
Yes. It's a Brazilian brand, handmade Brazilian brand, named 2L Guitars.
All right. So we're going to take a quick. Okay. We'll take our first break, and we'll come back and talk more about that, if that's okay.
Okay.
Barstools